Yes, we are talking about the show of the Buffy. Hello there, mysterious person behind the screen. So recently I got into a very popular TV show that I've been meaning to get in for years, and I've been really enjoying it. That show, you read the title, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Yes, this is the Season 1 Collector's Edition. I got it from CEX, pretty cheaply, I think it was like £4. It's fairly good condition, it's a bit tattered there. There's a spine, the back's the same. And the cool thing is, it comes with an episode guide which is in pristine condition. It folds out, it's not just a standard digipack, it folds out to make, oh, I don't know if you can see there, a crucifix. And that's the shape of it, and it's got all the discs in the shape of crucifixes. Isn't that cool? So, oh god. So yeah, bit of background. This is this series I'm doing now is called Discovering Buffy. Yes, you read the title. And yeah, it's like I did with my Primeval rewatch last year. I'm just gonna be going through every season of the show one by one, and giving my thoughts on it, except this time it will be a bit more unique, because I've never seen the show before, so it will be going in blind with, like, sort of a beginner's first thoughts, so it might be interesting for any of you hardcore Buffy fans out there to see what my first thoughts are, because I'm on... what am I on? I just finished watching Ted, so that's, like, the middle of Season 2. So, yeah, I'm pretty new to the show, but it's safe to say I'm loving it, so I'm just going to go through every episode. I'm not sure if I'm going to go through every episode of the other seasons, because they're 22 episodes each, this one's only 12. But we'll give it a go. So, yes, the first episode is Welcome to the Hellmouth. And I think it might be interesting for me to look back on this episode again now that I know and love the characters, because watching it for the first time, it's very much there to introduce you to the world of Buffy, to Sunnydale, to the gang that will accompany you for 7 more seasons. And yeah, it's pretty much the concept of the show. I haven't watched the movie starring Christy Swanson because, yeah, I've heard it's not very good. So I'll just get straight to the show. I've got the episodes here. So yeah, Welcome to the Hellmouth. I enjoyed it. I think I would enjoy it now with hindsight, because I love the characters so much. Going back and seeing how they meet might be fun, because it was the first one I watched. I don't remember much of it, but I remember really enjoying it. It's introduced to the Master and his plot and plan, and yeah, it's really just there to get you to introduced to the basics of the Buffy universe. I had already been exposed to a lot of it through my friend Ed, who was a massive fan, who really got me, like, interested in watching the show. So I already knew the characters pretty much. I knew like Buffy, obviously, Xander and Willow, and Spike and that. I knew all those guys. I was waiting for them to come into it. And Spike's not in Season 1, he's in Season 2. But yes, for the most part I really enjoyed it. And that can extend to the Harvest as well, because the Harvest is just part 2 of Welcome to the Hellmouth, pretty much. It's not generally classed as a 2-parter, but it kind of is, because it's at the end of that one it has to be continued, and previously on Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So it's essentially one episode split into 2 for the premiere. So now I'll pause and I'll go into the characters before I carry on even more. So yeah, Buffy, what I like about this show and what I like about Buffy's character is it's the same reason I love Spider-Man. It's the same reason I love me a bit of Spider-Man. She is a normal teen, having to keep a secret the fact that she's got superpowers, pretty much. That's what I love. She's still normal teen issues, like any teenager has to deal with. She's 16 years old, but she still has to go out every night on patrol and kill vampires. It's really, really fun concept. I've always loved that, and it's why I love Spider-Man so much, and it's why I love the character of Buffy so much. Sarah Michelle Gellar is fantastic. She will get her dues later on when I go and talk about Prophecy Girl, but yeah, for now I'll just bookmark that and just save that for later, because she really gets to stretch her legs in Prophecy Girl, in regards to how good her acting is. But she's great throughout the series. She's a great leading woman, and yeah, it's badass. She's just badass. Then of course we have Xander. He's the sort of audience surrogate, I would say. He's the one in the you sort of learn about Buffy through him almost. Because you've got Willow and to a lesser extent Cordelia, but really Xander is sort of the one, because obviously I haven't got to that part, but later on in the show, spoilers, Willow, she has magic. I don't know how that goes about because I'm only in season 2, but I know that she gets magic, and Xander is the only one without powers. So in that respect, he's the audience surrogate. He's your way in, and I love Xander. He's really great. He's a very, very flawed character. He can be a bit of a douche. He can be very, very arrogant, and he can be very, very sort of ignorant to his mistakes. But I appreciate the fact that he's not some perfect guy. He's not quite the nerd either. He's a nerdy character. He's not exactly the popular one at Sunnydale, but he's not like a stereotypical no friend bookworm nerd. It makes him more real, because in real life at school there's no sort of set boundary. You can have people who likes reading comics and likes geeky things, but is also a jock, sort of. So in real life it's much more complicated than those stereotypes. Having Xander blur those lines a little bit, it's much more entertaining and realistic to watch, and it gets me much more invested in his character. With all of these, I will expand as they go on, and because I love each and every one of these characters. They are perfect, but I will expand as I go on, and episodes that are centric to them and stuff. But then we have Willow. Oh, I love Willow. She's my favourite character, I think. Her and Giles, I think. She's just she's amazing. She always gets so much laughs at me. She's a very relatable character. She is the nerd of the group in the fact that she's the computer geek. She's always touted to be the brains of the gang. She's the brains of it, her and Giles. So it's like, yeah, okay, fair enough. And there's a Willow-centric episode coming up, so I'll expand on her character then. But yeah, I love Willow so much. Yeah, excellent. Giles, again, I can't say whether I like him more or Willow. They're both great. Giles, Anthony Stewart Head, he's so good. I always thought Anthony Stewart Head would be an amazing Doctor or Master. He could play both. Watch him in School Reunion and Doctor Who. He's amazing at both. But yeah, Giles, he is so much to say. He's fantastic. He's like Willow. He's very sort of endearing. Him and Willow, very endearing characters. He's Buffy's watcher, so he's kind of the brains. He's the one. He's pretty much throws out exposition. So there's a demon doing this and that and that all the time, and he trains Buffy obviously, and it's I love the father-daughter bond that him and Buffy have throughout the show. It's again very endearing character. We get to learn more about him as the show goes on, and I love Giles. He's fantastic. That's pretty much it for the characters. My brief thoughts on them. Cordelia. This might be hard, because I really like Cordelia now, because I'm in season 2 and she's grown as a character so much. Season 1, she's pretty much just the stereotypical mean girl bitch. I did not like Cordelia when I first started watching the series. She has grown on me now, because her as a character, she's grown a lot in the show. But in season 1, she's very bitchy. She's not nice. Willow totally owns her. I think it's in The Harvest. She says she's on the computer or something, and she's like, I can't remember the exchange now, but she can't figure out how to do something, and Willow goes, "Oh, press the button that says DEL." And she goes, and she deletes all her work, and Willow just strolls off. It's like, excellent. Moving on with Witch. What I love about this season that's different to so far of season 2, and I understand from all the others, that makes it unique, is very Monster of the Week. Now, Monster of the Week episodes are present throughout the series. There's a lot of them in season 2, but season 1 is pretty much, apart from Welcome to the Hellmouth, Harvest, Angel, and Prophecy Girl, pretty much all of them are Freak of the Week, Monster of the Week, standalone episodes, which is what I love, because you can just throw one on and have fun with them. They're all very fun. Season 1, everyone was saying it's the worst season. It's not. It's really dated. It's not very good. It's pretty crap and cheesy. Guys, I have no problem with cheesy. People saying, the effects are bad. I have a shelf full of every classic Doctor Who story that's been released over there. I love them greatly. I have no problem with bad special effects or cheesy dialogue. Trust me, I love it. So I was fine with it, and I really love season 1 overall. So next time we have Witch. Buffy joins the cheerleading squad, leading to some very fun humour there. Of course, it starts off, Giles is having a rant about how you're betraying your Slayer duty and stuff, and it just cuts to her in a cheerleading uniform. That's very funny. This is probably one of my least favourite episodes of the season. It's okay, it's pretty good. It's the first one that's separate from all the vampire stuff. It's just Buffy having to deal with a problem in the school. With a witch that's going about. And there's some really creepy imagery in this. There's a bit where that girl, the mouth... She loses a mouth, and Cordelia gets blinded. It's pretty rad imagery. I really love it. It's a fun episode. There's a lot of laughs in it. Nothing to write home about. It doesn't really break any new ground. It tackles with the theme of like an abusive mother-daughter relationship, which I think is admirable to do this early on in the series. Does it pull it off? Not quite, but it's a fun episode. I did enjoy it. Teacher's pet. A lot of people going, hey, this is one of the worst Buffy episodes. It's fine. I didn't see much wrong with it. Basically, the basic plot is substitute teacher comes into Sunnydale. Naturally, all the boys have a massive crush on her, and she turns out to be a giant praying mantis who wants to eat one of them. Pretty fun premise. It's a Xander-centric episode. It reveals more of his flaws. He's basically a ladies' man. Willow has got a massive crush on Xander, but Xander does not reciprocate that feeling. At this point in time in the series, we don't know that he feels the same. But as we find out in the pack, he knows that Willow... Well, he doesn't feel the same. We don't know that he knows that Willow likes him. But we find out that he actually does know how Willow feels. How Willow feels about him in the pack. It's fine. The effects, to be fair, it more or less ends with Buffy just fighting a giant CGI praying mantis in a very, very darkly lit scene, which is impossible to make out. One thing I will say: this show desperately needs a remaster. Season 1 and 2 were shot on 16mm film. It's very grainy, and it hasn't aged well in that respect. It is definitely needs a remaster. I know seasons 3 to 7 were shot on 35mm, so they look better naturally. But yes, not those crappy HD ones that are shown on Sci-Fi. That reared their ugly heads and Pivot a few years ago. They're awful. Cropped to widescreen. They should be in 4:3. Redone effect shots that look nothing like the original. Bad colour grading that makes night scenes look like day and vice versa. It's awful. Sorry, I got really angry there. But this show deserves better. But yeah, it's fine. I didn't see anything wrong with it myself. It's just a fun little Monster of the Week episode. It's got a cliffhanger that never gets followed up on, despite the fact they actually reference that episode quite a lot in season 2 and stuff. They always say about the relationship thing and how, oh, hope this one doesn't turn out to be a giant bug and stuff. It's like that's a running punchline, but they never follow up on the cliffhanger that ends the episode with loads of giant praying mantis eggs under the classroom. So it's whatever. Never kill a boy on the first date. This is tied with an upcoming episode as probably my least favourite of the season. It's not bad, it's just a little bit bland. Basically, Buffy starts dating a classmate. I don't even remember his name. Does it say in here? Does it? No. But there's a vampire plot and he gets caught up in it, and it's got the classic line, if the apocalypse comes, beat me. 90s as hell. But no, yeah, it's okay. It's not very memorable. The only bits I really remember, there's a funny little bit where Giles comes out and says, what are you talking about? And Buffy and Willow just go, boys! That was kind of fun. There's a cool fight in the morgue at the end. That's really it. This is actually one that's quite light, but if anything, I think I prefer Teacher's Pet. Just because how goofy it was, and it was a bit, goofy, more fun. Never Call a Boy on a First Date does expand Buffy's character, and it's sort of the start of that. It's the start of that frustration of her not having a normal life because she just wants to be an average girl, but she can't obviously because Slayer. But yeah, apart from that, nothing really to write home about. Yeah, what's next? The Pack. Goofy as hell. What? I love this episode, but it's so silly, and it's all the better for it. What happens is, on a field trip to the zoo, Xander and a few other boys get possessed by the spirits of evil hyenas. It's so funny. It's there's a fluff line in it. There's a fluff line when Buffy's fighting possessed Xander, because Xander's been a dick throughout this episode to poor Willow, and it's like she fights him and he gets up. He's supposed to say, "You can tell Willow that if she thinks I can settle for anyone less than you, she's killing herself." What he actually says, and you can tell Willow, if she thinks I can settle for anything less than you. It's like he fluffs it up massively, but I love that it's in there. It adds so much more charm to it. The same reason I love classic Doctor Who. There's so much more charm. Yeah, it's so goofy. Xander and the boys eat a bloody pig. They eat a school pig. They have a school mascot for the football team, and it's a bloody pig. I just when they eat it, and then the scene cuts to them going off like in a pack. The Pack. Walking off, dark coats on, walking up the school in slow motion with a rock song playing. It's the best cheesy moment in the show. I love it. It's so funny. Oh, it's absolutely hilarious. Yeah, Xander's such a dick to Willow in this. I know it's because he's possessed, but oh, it stopped snowing. It was just snowing outside. It stopped suddenly. Sorry. Yeah, I know he's possessed, but he's a right dick to her. He bullies Willow. Don't bully Willow. She's adorable. That's enough. Don't leave Willow alone. Great episode. Funny as hell. Sometimes unintentionally so, but still quite. I loved it. Angel. Angel. Great episode. This absolutely fantastic. Angel's one of my favourite characters now. I think he's so badass. He's so awesome. God, yeah, Angel's amazing. And this is the first episode where he develops a relationship with Buffy. Because he's sort of been he was in Welcome to the Hellmouth and Harvest. He pops up again. He's really just a mysterious character that sort of hangs out of the bronze. Little weird. And this is where we really find out who he is. 200-year-old vampire cursed with a soul, and he's awesome. The classic bedroom scene. All of Buffy is a metaphor for something like a teenage subject matter, and it's a metaphor for growing up. The show, as it progresses, is a metaphor for going into adulthood, and this sort of touches on themes of sexuality and mortality, and it's such some really deep themes. And this is the one that everyone says if you only watch one season 1 episode, you watch Prophecy Girl, but if you watch 2 season 1 episodes, you watch Angel. Yeah, what more else is there to say? It's a beautiful episode. David Boreanaz is fantastic as Angel. Darla dies. I didn't expect Darla to die so soon. I always thought she was such a recurring character in Buffy. Really, she's just in the first 2 episodes. Occasionally it cuts back to her in the other 3, and then in other 4, and then Angel, she dies. So yeah, didn't expect her to die so quickly, but whatever. Yeah, love Angel. Oh boy, here's my least favourite one. I, Robot, You, Jane. Willow scans a horny demon into the internet. I'm not making this up. No, Willow gets a boyfriend online called Malcolm. In reality, it's a... Sorry, something in my mouth there, sorry. In reality, it's a demon that's been scanned onto the internet and now is killing off people and shenanigans. But it's a Willow-centric episode. I've said how much I love Willow. She's absolutely adorable. She's the best character in the show. For my money at least. But without looking at what a Willow-centric episode would be, I would say she gets a boyfriend, turns out to be a demon. That's really bratty about it when Buffy confronts her about how wrong it is. And then, yeah, that's the episode. Because that's pretty much what happens. Buffy confronts her and she says, Willow, you don't know this guy. He could be anyone. He's on the internet. And she says, you're just... Boys never go after me. can you not just let me be happy once? It's all the standard tropes. The main thing that's wrong with this episode, it's so dated, and season 1 is dated, yeah, but it never really bothered me. This, it's the early days of the internet, and it's essentially a little thing about the dangers of the internet. That's pretty much the episode. Not great. It's not fun. Jenny's introduced. Jenny's a good character. Jenny Calendar starts dating Giles in season 2, but that's season 2. But yeah, I don't think it's one I'll return to often. Yeah, it's okay. Buffy makes a Spidey reference in it though, and it's the best thing ever. So that's fun. She says, "Now my Spidey sense is tingling." Giles says, "Your Spidey sense." Pop culture reference. Sorry. Jimmy's a Spider-Man reference. Woo! Buffy made a Spider-Man reference. Excellent. Disc 3 already. God. The Puppet Show. I love the Puppet Show. One of my favourites. Puppet Show. Oh, just scratched the thing. Buffy Show. Yes, we are talking about the show of the Buffy. Buffy. What? The Puppet Show. Buffy gets enrolled in the school talent contest. Realizes there's an evil ventriloquist dummy, or so she thinks is an evil ventriloquist dummy. There's a nice twist there, and it's so much fun. Sid, the horny dummy, is so funny. It's so fun. I love this episode. It's yeah, I love seeing how inept Giles was at talking to the kids in the talent show, because he's been putting the manager in it, and Sid dummy, what a great character. We find out he's actually hunting the real demon here, which actually turns out to be the magician, which was a nice bait and switch. It's really creepy. There's a scene where Buffy goes to bed, she turns the light off, and at the window, just illuminated, is Sid the dummy just staring. It's creepy as hell. It made me jump a lot when I first saw it. He attacks Buffy in a bedroom, she screams, and it's really creepy, because he thinks Buffy's the demon, but she's not, obviously. It's the real demon's the magician. It's a lot of fun. We get a mid-credit scene for, like, the first time in the series, and it's not been done since, and I don't think it is done since. I have to... Long-time Buffy fans, please tell me if that's done again, but it's the 3 kids, it's Buffy, Xander, and Willow trying to act in the talent show, and it's the best thing ever, because I love these characters so much, and to watch them in this situation is absolutely hilarious. Trying to do Shakespeare, and at some point Willow just runs off terrified, which apparently was improvised. It just makes me love it even more. Funny as hell. Nightmares, another one of my favourites. So I'm going to have to hurry this up. I'm running out of time. Nightmares, another one of my favourites. Such a fun Nightmare on Elm Street episode. I love Nightmare on Elm Street. It's such a fun concept. Such a fun horror episode. There's some really good stuff done in it. The lucky number 16, that tackles some subject matter there. I could go on about it for ages, but again, I'm short on time. I really love Nightmares. It's in my top 3 of season 1 for sure. Really great episodes. One I will return to often. I saw it the other day on Sci-Fi, even though it was the botched HD version. I still watched it all the way through, because it's definitely one of my favourite episodes of the season. Out of Mind, Out of Sight. Fairly nothing episode. It's about an invisible girl. I will give it points. It tries to tackle the subject matter of bullying, and how simply just being ignored rather than actually being bullied, it can be even more dangerous. And yes, so there's an invisible girl, I can't remember her name now, but she's going around killing people. She targets Cordelia. This expands Cordelia's character. She says, "Hey, you think I'm not lonely because I'm popular?" And it gives dimension to her. This is the first start of her character growth. She's not just the mean girl. Yes, she's popular. Yes, she can be bitchy, but she's still lonely as hell. It's a great thing. But yeah, it didn't really leave much of an impact on me. You see Buffy using her Slayer senses at the end when she has a superpower thing. I'm not sure if it's called Slayer sense. I'll just call it the Slayer sense. When she can sense the Invisigirl. And yeah, fairly good episode. Prophecy Girl. Oh, my favourite episode of the whole season. Prophecy Girl's amazing. Buffy learns that she's going to die. There's a prophecy that says you're going to die when you have to face the Master in like 2 days or whatever. And for the first time, you realise, no, this is a kid. This girl is a kid. And she's just been confronted with the revelation that she's going to die on Saturday. And we get that wonderful scene in the library with Angel, Giles and Buffy. Where she's so angry, and then she sort of goes quiet and she goes, "Giles, I'm 16 years old. I don't want to die." And you just go, "You're a kid. I don't want to see you die. And the fact that Willow goes into the room, sees students slaughtered everywhere, and she says, it wasn't our world anymore, it was theirs. They brought their world into ours. You realise, yeah, this season's been fun and games so far. Shit goes down. It's not going to be the happy-go-lucky show. People die, and there are consequences to that. And it is scary as hell. Buffy, Xander Assate Buffy, being in that position before. Ooh, I feel his pain there. God. He really messed up though. Begging? No, don't do that. That's just worse. But then this is why he's a flawed character. He goes to Willow and says, "Oh, I'll go with you," because he knows how much Willow feels about him. She says, "No, I'm not going to be your rebound girl." And it's like, yeah, mate, as much as I hate to say it, I love you, Xander, but you deserve that there. I could go on. Buffy dies, and it's an amazing sacrifice, amazing scene. That library scene's the best scene in the season. But yeah, she has a fight with the Master. The Master's a good big bad. Nothing compared to Spike and Drusilla in season 2, but we'll get on to that next time. The Master's a good big bad. But yeah, she dies. Xander brings her back. We get Cordelia in the library getting attacked. Someone help me! And the theme plays, and she's in a white dress, strolling towards the school. She slays a vampire. Oh look, a bad guy. Slays him. Badass as hell. I love that moment. And the way it ends, the Master gets impaled. He dies. The way it ends is just a shot of his skeleton. That's the end of the season. What a great ending. I really liked season 1 of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I could go on even more, but I'm running out of time. If you haven't checked the show out, do it. Season 1, alright, yeah, it's a little slow. It's a little slow to get moving with a really good intimate character stuff, but it's really worth it in the end. There's some really fun ones in there. I really enjoyed season 1. Next time we'll be looking at season 2 on Discovering Buffy, where it really kicks it up a notch. Take care now.